not my talent, not my skills, not Ben's unbelievable skills. No, no, no. It's those SOPs that make this work elsewhere.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
But around you is like
all
15,
around,
20 people, the sound, the producing, everybody taking care, and it does intimidate a lot. So the fact that you managed to reduce all this intimidation process and still create high quality, that's something amazing. So how you came up with this idea, I think it's brilliant.
Thank you. Well, ultimately, I had been doing traditional film work, TV commercials and internet videos and different things that I'm sure you're familiar with your enterprise. And a buddy of mine who's in radio asked me, "Will you film my dad? He's turning 75." And I was like,
Wow.
"What's
the
wrong
birthday.
with your dad?" He said, "Nothing. I want my kids to know their papa. I want them to know their grandfather." And
Oh,
so
wow.
I was like, "I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but okay." So I went over and I set the camera up and I plopped him down and visited with him and asked him about growing up in East Texas and what life was like in the 50s and 60s and what his
wow.
parents did for a living. And just, we talked over the course of the day and ended up editing it together, treating it just like a project, just like a traditional project. And then he got it and he loved it and he talked about it on his radio program. So a few other people called and said, "Hey, I'd like to do a film." So I did a few more. And then, Harry, about a year later, it was at Thanksgiving time. My dad, my stepdad, my mom's husband, told us that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer and that he had 12 to 18 months to live. And we're like drinking a beer at a campfire, and we're like, "What?" So I asked him if he would do the film, if we could film his story, and he said sure. And about 2 months later, we sat him down and had him tell his story. Well, we filmed on a Tuesday, and he passed away on Sunday. So it wasn't a year; it was 2 months. And it was only after that I realized
The
that
power.
this isn't the
Wow.
power. This isn't just another project. This isn't a gig. This matters to families, because I was now the prospective client of my own company. And I realized, my wife and I were like, "Gosh, this is powerful." So we figured it out and said, "Let's launch this thing." And boy, did we. So we launched it, and it's just been an amazing run of growing and learning and meeting families all over the country,
Wow.
And in fact, we have one that we're in the middle of production that's going to send us over to your side of the Atlantic for some work in October. We're actually going to Mumbai and Dubai and Antwerp and London for one film. But at the root of it is a man who loves his father, and his dad happens to have associates and family all over the world, and he's got the resources to do it. So off we go.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, sir.
And Chance, I think that the biggest lesson here, and in this broadcast on the top of 5 steps how to make your first million, you will see stories of entrepreneurs sharing the vision here. And a lot of people, even me, I started the business like this. I solved the problem for myself, and then we start to solve the problem for other people. This is kind of sometimes click. What is that if you think you are the client of your own product, and then you say, "Why no? This is powerful. Let me try to help other people to achieve." And I think the idea is brilliant. I love it. Yeah. The issue is
Thank
this
you.
one: how you keep consistency, how you keep quality, and how you produce a 90-minute documentary, which is a lot of minutes, where this is what the challenge is, because yeah, you said only 3 people. Oh my God! But these only 3 people, they have to be genius.
They
If
are.
they
They're
can,
very
if
good.
they can. I still don't know how you do it because the camera, you need 2 or 3 cameras. So what happened? One person operating the 2, 3 cameras? I just don't get it. But anyway, this is so these 3 people are amazing, right? That they can move around and they can follow your standards. And not only, I presume that you not only have 3 people because can be done in different states. So you have 3 good people
We
mainly
travel.
mainly everywhere.
We
Or
have
you guys
every.
travel.
We do travel, but everything that happens in our film is standard Hollywood roles. So we can hire freelancers out of any major city is going to have qualified people that
That
I
can
can literally
support,
just hand them a PDF that says, "Here's
that's
our
the
standards," and
there you
now I
go.
know professionals. This is what's we're gonna be able to achieve.
And they know
I
that they
think
can deliver that because they are professionals. They are
this is what they
Hollywood. They
do. Yes,
follow the
sir.
standard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, amazing.
Yeah, I think
How about editing?
yeah, that's what I was gonna
Because
say. I think
that's
that's where
tough also.
that's editing is the hardest part. But again,
Absolutely.
there's no substitute, and this is not just for my company. This is for everybody listening. There is no substitute for volume. There's no substitute for repetition. There's no substitute for reps. We don't. We so rarely run into something that we haven't done numerous times. So
Wow.
we know how to address it. We know how to make it right. And again, with technology, our edit process for a standard film is 6 weeks. So from the day we shoot
Oh, wow.
to sending the review, it's only 6 weeks.
Very
And there's
short, man.
about
Wow.
6 different people will edit. And our process is like a graduated process. So the very first editor that gets the film, he might not be the world's greatest finesse editor, but he's a
It has a
storyteller.
system. Exactly.
He's a storyteller, and he knows get rid of the bad, keep the good, and put it in the right order. Okay, and then he's going to move it to somebody that's a little bit more adept at the nuanced editing skills, who's going to own it further. And then by the time it gets through 4 or 5 phases, you've got an hour to an hour and a half piece of brilliance that, because the family has told us what they want, when I do the interview, I am getting the responses that I know that the family wants. It's really, gosh, it's more like Legos once you've done enough. I know where they snap together. My team knows where it snaps together, and we know how audiences react to when we do that. So I don't mean to demystify it. I'm proud of what we do.
Wow.
It's not easy,
Very impressive. Yeah, I can tell.
but yeah.
I still don't know how you pull this off. It's amazing and do it so many times, right? Like I
Yeah, I'm
said,
believing.
I've been
I'm in,
what's going on with because create high quality documentary of the standards that you're talking about. Um, is something that I think you're the first person that can bring this to the masses.
I think
Meaning,
so.
yeah,
I've built
because
again the value, like if on the entrepreneurial side as opposed to the sales side. What we've developed, and I'm not saying me. I have a team, Harry. There's a group of us. It's my company, but I couldn't do it alone. What's special about Heritage Films? There are other people that will put a camera down in front of Dad and get his story. There's nobody that does it at our quality, and there's nobody that does it at our volume. And those two things right there are what make this business conversation worthy for your audience. We have come up with a system that works. It is scalable. We're only 10 years in. We're only just now at the point where we are hiring other people. We are launching in other markets. I'm doing all of this out of Houston, but I wouldn't be able to scale if we didn't build SOP.
process system.
Once upon a time, I was in the Army, and so I use a lot of Army phrases, and we have, at my company, we have SOPs, standard operating procedures for all the things we do. Those SOP booklets are what make us scalable. Not my talent, not my skills, not Ben's unbelievable skills. No, no, no. It's those SOPs that make this work elsewhere.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.